ये एक दायरे में सिमटने में और पूरी दुनिया को दायरा बनाने में बस इतना सा फर्क है। इतना कितना है? इतना है या इतना है? जो नापेगा वो जाने कि जहां धरती और आसमान मिलते हैं, नानकुर से दूर, अगर मगर शायद से दूर, वहां भी दोनों में फर्क बस इतना सा है। धरती और सातवें आसमान में फर्क बस इतना सा है। ये एक अंतर प्रेरणा है। ये हमारी, आपकी, हम सब की अंतर प्रेरणा है। एक कदम, एक छलांग, एक बाजी, एक गहरी सांस और एक ललकार खुली हवाओं में कि हाँ मैं बना हूं उन फिजाओं के लिए, कि हाँ मैं बना हूं उन ऊंचाइयों के लिए जो ऊंची तो बहुत है पर नामुमकिन भी नहीं, क्योंकि मुमकिन और नामुमकिन में बस इतना सा फर्क है। धूप छांव में फर्क बस इतना सा। तो बस चलिए फ्रैंचाइज इंडिया के साथ ये फर्क मिटा देते हैं। फ्रैंचाइज इंडिया।
Welcome to the Global Franchise Show. Today in this show, we have our esteemed colleagues and people who we work with from international community. We have two brands that are aligned for today. That is Mr. Brews Taphouse and Bite Local. One from Australia, a fast casual dining restaurant, as the name can explain, with unique offering in beverages, as well as one from Australia that is a food delivery application, which is very different from other commercial application, which actually hurt the restaurant business. So today, let's start with Mr. Brews Taphouse, and I would like to invite Mark, who's representing Mr. Brews Taphouse today, to share with us more about the brand and how they are looking to enter the India market. Over to you, Mark.
Okay. Will you be sharing the screen? Do you have should I use my presentation?
Yes, you can, Mark.
All right. Maybe helpful in that. So.
Would you like me to do that for you?
If you want to go ahead with that, or if you want to share the screen with me, or
sure, you can move forward. I will move the presentation for you.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. Well, first of all, thank you, folks. I appreciate the opportunity. I want to thank FranGlobal, been a great partner with us, and excited to share what's happening not only here domestically, but with Mr. Brews and what we really feel potentially internationally. My name is Mark Leach. I'm the Chief Operating Officer. I've been with the brand just about 4 years. I was brought on as someone to help with franchising, both domestically and internationally. So it's been a great run. We've had some tremendous success here, and really feel there's some opportunity, and the India market really is ripe for our brand. Okay, if you could move us to the next one. You know, as we look at different opportunities in franchising, we really feel we have a niche in the industry. Being a brand that offers a wide selection of craft beers, we know that in the India market, you're seeing an increase in craft beer sales. It's probably even more aggressive than it has been in a long time in comparison to even here domestically, because I think India kind of caught up in some of that. And in addition, So we're positioned well with what we have to sell in regards to craft beer, but we've got some exciting food opportunities. We use a fresh beef. We have freedom within the framework. What we want to do is make sure that culturally we're embracing some of the different geographics, so we can help make a menu that works within different countries. We love density. India represents the population very well. And so we like a dense amount of people because we understand there's a lot of selection out there. So, and we know that there's more tourism. So we just feel when we looked at different markets that we were definitely set up for success as we look at the India market. So, thank you. As we look at Mr. Brews Taphouse as being the probably one of the major players in the industry. It was founded by Steve Day. He's our founder. In 2013, we're headquartered here in Wisconsin. I was telling the gentleman earlier when I'm looking out my hotel window with 12 inches of snow, trying to get back to Nashville, Tennessee, hopefully sometime today. But as we look at the brand, as you can see from 2013 to 2023, we've definitely accelerated, especially on the franchise side. We're known as a full service craft brew pub. We don't brew beer. Sometimes there's some confusion there, but what we do have is we use the region around us, both regionally and nationally, to bring the beers that people want on their menu. So you're not having to worry about running a brewery and having a brewmaster and those type of things. You really you get when you walk in, you get a nice visual of anywhere from 48 to 60 taps all ready for the consumer. So when they come in, they can always find something that will appease their palate. As I shared, we've had some great growth, but we have a low-cost startup. The ease of execution, we make it simple. Our menus aren't super elaborate, so the kitchen doesn't get bogged down. And we feel we got some great training and support. All right, you can go. That's a good visual there. I'm going to ask my friend to proceed. But when you walk into the restaurant, that's what you see there is that dominance of those taps. That's kind of our wow factor. So we have, as we look at the brand, we want to create an environment where people want to go. Most of our employees that come to work view it as I get to go to work, not I have to go to work. So, we want to make sure we're creating a culture that is really embraced by not only our guests, but our teammates. So we create that atmosphere where guests can come in, relax, unwind. We're family friendly, and kind of be that neighborhood place where people can go and find their favorite beer and pair it with a great burger. And we find our place to be, an occasion place where people come for, a birthday or a celebration, or even in some cases, we have different events. One of the things that's big here in the States is bag tossing, and we have many tournaments in and around the restaurant there that bring a lot of people. So it's a nice gathering place where people can come and unwind and enjoy a great meal. Okay. Mr. Brews Taphouse, we deliver the beer people are craving. One of the things that we do is we allow people to have a little taste. So no guest comes in that restaurant and doesn't have the beer that they want to have. And so that, coupled with a great menu, we feel is really a key to our success. Our mission is to be the best at everything we can do. We definitely put ourselves above the local bar, if you will. We consider our places pubs, and we brace individuality. We've got a culture where we're one of encouragement, and that lends to really giving a great guest experience each and every time. And then we got our core values. We have goals. You don't get into franchising not to be prosperous and make money. So we help people achieve those. We create that within our friends and family. We call our teammates the Brew Crew, and we're looking for those people, those shiny, happy faces that people enjoy, working with the public on. So we really spend some time on making sure we're hiring the right people. One key thing for any potential franchisee that's looking at the business is they want to have superior tools for training and resources. And I mentioned this comment earlier. One of the things we talk about is that freedom within the framework. It allows the franchise owner to add their own fun and embrace their personality and what's happening there surrounding. Like we were just talking with some gentlemen earlier about a cricket tournament, and obviously basketball is kind of and it's a big swing here in the States. And one of the restaurants is located right by the University of Kentucky. So that in their restaurant, they have kind of embraced that theme in there and get a lot of people in there to watch the game. So we do allow that franchisee to kind of embrace their local community and kind of make it their own pub within that freedom of the framework. Just a little bit on our leadership team. I referred to Steve Day, our founder, off to the left. Steve brings a wealth of experience. He actually got his start in the oil industry and just had a passion for restaurants. So he's been a part of things for quite a while. As I said, started in 2013. The lady right below is his wife. She acts as our CFO. Kara does a nice job. Up to the right is myself. I've been in the business for many years, and in particular in the franchise side, and most recently as the COO of this brand. And then the bottom corner, Michael Higgins, he helps with franchise sales on the domestic side. In addition, on the next slide, we've got a couple key people. Kenny Leach. No relation, spells his name a little different, but people always think I brought my son on board. But Kenny brings extensive experience. I've worked with him over the past 15 years in our previous company. So just a great guy. Really is good on the analytical side, product development, people development, and then forecasting and the analytical things as we look at the P&L to make sure people are making their money. And then Carrie, she brings our kind of a well-rounded experience and helps with helps with opening the restaurant. She's they call ops support, and so wherever there's any support that the franchise community needs, she's kind of that operational expert to help us with that. I'm not going, for time's sake, I'm not going to play some testimonials, and if someone was interested in that, I could certainly get them this information. But that's just a picture of the inside of our pubs. And one of the things I encourage people to do is if they're serious about Mr. Brews and we're moving down the road in that direction, some of the best salespeople I have are my current franchisees. They do a great job as brand ambassadors, and happy franchisees help sell franchises. So we're with 14 restaurants, we're still a restaurant group that everybody knows each other and cares about each other and wants to help us promote the brand. The next slide. And then just a little bit more, the next few slides will talk about franchise support. We help with your menu, and we talked about that freedom in the framework so we can embrace culturally what would work best. We've got forecasting for labor and inventory systems to help making sure your food cost is in line with industry standards. And so again, we just a little bit of a model there of the things that you can expect from us as a franchisor. In addition, as you look at your support, how do we market the brand? And we understand we may have to do some things different in different cultures to get the word out. Some of the social media stuff is the same, but we have stuff all ready to go to help do that, through loyalty programs and social media and all those things. We've definitely advanced over the past 4 years in this category also. And then on the training side, we've got superior training. The gentleman down there in the bottom of that picture is the founder's brother, has his own pub here in, matter of fact, right where I am here in Wisconsin. He does all our training, does a great job. And, not only hands-on, but we've got a training library. We've got trainers that are trained to help support your opening, ops manuals, videos. So really set up for success for, they always talk about don't bet on the horse, bet on the jockey. We've got some good jockeys, if you will, to help support you in your training side. And we realize there's a couple selections here of some of the restaurants, and as we look at locations for you, there may be some differences, but I at least wanted to kind of show you, at least here domestically, where some of our successes have been and what we're looking at. We do like the end caps, if you can get on those. If there's some good exposure in a mall, those are very helpful for us also. We don't need a lot of square footage. We really maximize our real estate so that 1,500 to 3,000 square feet is very doable for what we try to do. Depending on the weather and those type of things, we do like to see a patio if that's possible in some locations, because a lot of people love to sit outside if they can. So and on the demographic side, we do like the density of people. We do have some small town pubs, but we realize India is a little different, and we're excited about the opportunities there. And just some of the financial requirements that we're looking for. We're obviously looking for folks that can build out the brand within India, and we feel this is very, very competitive, in the marketplace, and would love to talk to some folks that can help us build out that area. And then the last piece is just myself. Your point of contact, and if I'd love the opportunity to talk a little bit more about the brand, and if there's any questions that I can help you with, please don't hesitate to reach out.
Thank you so much, Mark, for that detailed presentation. And participants and attendees, any questions which you have, please use the Q&A box to ask that. We will respond to that directly. And we are sharing our contact details in the chat box. You can contact any of our representatives for any further discussions for Mr. Brews Taphouse. Thank you so much, Mark, for your time. Appreciate it. I know it's too early for you there, and it must have been a task for you to take this, and it's a cold night. I understand that. Yeah, well, thank you for your time, and thank you, FranGlobal, for your professionalism and setting this up for me. Thank you very much. Thank you. Moving on, our next participant and next brand is something which is very unique in its own offering. We are talking about competitors like Swiggy and Zomato here in India, delivery companies. We are talking about an opportunity to participate in that business, which is a hugely growing and beneficial market. We are looking at area-wide partnerships, the all-in technology built-in systems that are ready and available to be transported to India. So I welcome Dave from the team of Byte Local, who specializes in deliveries in Australia, and they are growing phenomenally well in that market. We are now looking to tap into the Indian market, find partners to grow the brand. Dave, over to you.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Duraj. And Mark, thank you for your presentation. I did get myself a nice India Pale Ale for the occasion, because it's very late in the evening here, so I'm allowed to have a beer. You probably can't, Mark. And thank you for holding this at a great time when the cricket's just finished for day two. So thank you for that. So look, we're really excited to bring Bite Local to India. We don't actually have it's not necessarily franchises we're looking at. It's more of a master franchise. So we're looking for someone who would be interested in taking our business to India and growing it there. We think there's a really good opportunity in many markets, all over the world. Every market is having the hospitality industries are really struggling. They're having a really hard time with the main players. Most countries have at least one or two main players that own the food delivery market. And as Dheeraj said, you've got Swiggy and Zomato there in India that are very big. In the US and in Australia as well, it's very much DoorDash and Uber Eats, and they're charging 35% of the order to the restaurant for a delivery service. So it's really crippling that industry. And Bite Local was born almost 3 years ago now in Australia, and it started off just in a small area in Melbourne, and it was going so well. The restaurants love it. We charge them half of what the big players do, and we're still able to make it profitable on that rate because we don't have huge marketing budget. I imagine Zomato and Swiggy there in India have huge campaigns where they're advertising on television and radio and signage. They're spending a lot of their money on marketing, trying to see who can have the biggest database, who can have the biggest customer base. And I'm not exactly sure there, but in Australia and I believe in the US, there are a lot of service issues because these big companies are worrying about their bottom line. They're not really worrying about providing a great service to their restaurants and their customers. So Bite Local was born 3 years ago to disrupt the market and to provide a better and cheaper service to restaurants. So I do have a PowerPoint presentation, but I'm not. Dheeraj, would I need to run through that? Or are you happy for me just to talk to what Bite Local is about?
Sure.
And then if people want to see more, they can view our video or our PowerPoint on our website.
As you wish. The stage is yours.
Yeah. Well, then again, it might be more exciting to look at a screen rather than looking at me. At 11 o'clock at night, I'm starting to look a bit tired. Look, I'll flick through a few quick slides, if that's okay, and I'll just share my screen. I just don't want everyone falling asleep. Let me know if that comes through. Are you seeing that now?
Yes, we can see that.
Okay. So look, Bite Local is really about being part of the community. And what we love about this is for a master franchise in India, the person that takes this on can start really small. They can start in just their local area and then grow it as they bring on more franchisees, because it's really about creating something in their own community and then spreading that around to nearby communities. So we're only up to 8 franchisees. We're still very, very young, very new, but we've done all the hard work in building that whole franchise system and network. We have a very robust operating procedure. So we have a very strong SOP, and we can walk our franchisees through the Bite Local system and get them set up very quickly with really about a week's training. So within a week, they could be running their own Bite Local. I'll just skip through a few of these slides. I'm not sure. Are they still coming through, Dheeraj? I can't see them coming through.
Yeah, it has moved.
Yep.
Second slide.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, good. It's just about creating exceptional value for all stakeholders. So Bite Local is really about helping everyone, restaurants, being a better deal for drivers and a better deal for customers. So in Australia, the food prices have to be marked up to be able to cover the fees of the delivery services. And so customers are paying a lot more for food than they really should be. So it's really about trying to provide a better service for everyone. And it's a whole community approach. Yeah, so we're working with our restaurants. We hire our own drivers. We reach customers through our restaurants. So we provide a free website for a restaurant, and they're able to then connect their customers to Bite Local. So rather than customers downloading an app and ordering that way, they can order direct with their favorite restaurant, and those orders will flow through to Bite Local. That's how we have a big saving in our marketing. And the last part is being part of the community. Yeah, everyone loves the community they're in, and we're very, very engaged with our local communities where Bite Local exists at the moment, working with sporting clubs and just promoting Bite Local that way, schools and that kind of thing. So very quickly, there was really no real choice in the market until Bite Local came along. And we feel that in India, this would be fantastic, where you have two really big players and you can come in and disrupt the market with Bite Local, which is just small at the moment, but we're trying to grow, but still remain local. So just very quickly, the main difference, Bite Local, smaller fees, so much lower fees. This pitch deck is actually aimed at restaurants, not at investors. So if we were to pitch to a restaurant, we would say, we're going to save you money. We're going to connect you to your customers because we give all the customer data to the restaurant, which the big guys don't, I believe, and being part of the community. So they're really the three pillars that we really focus on. And that's our restaurants love what we do. And I have a personal relationship with all of my restaurants, and our franchisees have a very close relationship with their restaurants. And they might have 10 restaurants, they might have 50 restaurants in their area. It's really a matter of connecting with some good restaurants. So if you think about your own area near where you live, you would have some connections with some restaurants there. It would be worth asking them, could another delivery service come in and help your business if it were cheaper? That would be a good conversation to have. So look, in terms of what the master franchise would charge, that will be up to the local area. So we would work with you on that. We currently charge our franchisees 3% royalty. Because we're working on much smaller margins in this space. So we charge a franchisee 3%. And as a franchisor, we're able to make money from that because we have very low overheads. So we would need to do some thorough investigation with you on what would be a good price point for your restaurants, so they're saving money, and then what would be the royalty that you would charge your franchisees as you grow this business in India. So that's up for negotiation, I think. Our, like Mr. Brews, our franchise fees are very low. Where in Australia we're charging about $25,000. So Daraj, I'm not sure what that would convert to, but that would be we try and keep it really low, so a low price point, so people are not deterred by that, and someone who's maybe never been in business before could come in and run their own franchise without a huge outlay.
Yeah, that's about 15 to 20 lakh rupees in India.
Yeah, and again, that would be something that we would adjust according to what would work in your community there. So it's really about just being really close and keeping the relationship close, which I think, as our world gets smaller, through globalization, I think it's really important we have our relationships really close with our suppliers and our customers. So look, that's probably all I wanted to go through in terms of the slides. There is more I can share with you, but I think that kind of gives you a bit of an idea of what Bite Local's about. I think the people on the call would understand who we are. If you think of Zomato, we're a much smaller version, and we have a really, really great system that would be very easy to plug and play into India. All the technology is built. We do have an app that that can be used worldwide. We're in the process of actually improving that and upgrading that app. But all the technology just works. It flows through from the customer ordering to the order going into the restaurant, and then the restaurant accepting the order, and that order then pushing to our delivery management tool for a driver or a rider to come and collect. So hopefully my very brief summary of Byte Local makes sense to you, and you can understand what we're offering. And of course, yeah, please reach out with any questions. I'm happy to jump on a call or emails, or take any questions now if there are any questions from the crowd.
Thank you so much, Dave, for that quick one. And I believe that summarizes a lot about Byte Local. And anybody interested in this opportunity, happy to have a chat. Please connect to us. We have shared the contact details within the chat box itself. You can also ask questions through our chat box here. And moving forward, we would definitely get in touch with whoever contacts us, and we'll take this forward from there.
Hey, I'll just make one comment, Dave. You know, being in the States, one of the things we struggle with is delivery services sometimes that don't deliver. You seem to have a good system in place. You talked about the relationship with the customer, and that being critical. And I think sometimes that's missing here with our door dashers, as we call them. And you know, it sounds like you've kind of figured that out. I think would be a big asset for you. So well done.
Yeah, thank you, Mark. And look, when Mr. Brews comes to Australia as well, we'll connect and we'll provide a delivery service for you guys as well.
Absolutely.
Sounds good.
Great. Thank you so much, guys, for your time, and thank you, audience, for all right. So we have some questions coming in. All right. So Atul here is asking about the master franchise fees for Byte Local, I believe, and yeah, so master franchise fees is 15-20 lakhs. There is no unit franchising. As you can imagine, this is a delivery application which connects with the delivery service providers and service providers, as well as the restaurants. So you need to look at a market of a tangible size where you can pilot this and start this business. And for that, you need a master franchise, right? Not a unit franchise.
Correct. Yeah, that's right. And yeah, thanks to Raj for clarifying that. And our territories are very small. Again, going back to Mark's point about keeping it, keeping that close, that relationship. We want our franchisees to be able to really get out and meet the restaurants and their drivers. So it will be so the opportunity in India, as you can imagine, with a huge population, the sky's the limit in terms of how many unit franchises there could really be. But you would definitely start small and grow from there. Yeah.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. So anybody who would get in touch with us and contact us, we'll stay in touch. Thank you, David and Mark, for your time. Happy to have a conversation.
Thank you. Really appreciate you having us on the call, Daraj, and thanks to FranGlobal for arranging this. And have a great weekend, everybody.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Take care.